In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the images that you can put into FileMaster. First, we have the splash image here, which is basically an image representing what's in the file. And then, of course, every note. You can have up to 6 images, different layouts that we talked about in one of the other videos. So now I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how to get them to look really good. And for that, I'm going to pull up a graphics program that I use a lot. Okay, here we go. Let's look at orientation a little bit. This square represents the container within FileMaster that holds the images. And these are just some basic images. And the first thing I want to point out is that if you take a horizontal image and you upload it, it's going to look something like this. Same thing with the vertical. It's going to end up looking something like this. People don't understand that, and they don't understand why it doesn't, fill it, but it can't exceed the borders. So it'll always come in the same orientation that it is. So if you're putting something in one of the square containers, you might try to find an image that's squarish. If you can't, it's not a big deal. It's just a matter of preference and how it looks. The other thing is JPEG versus PNG. JPEGs have a white border. So for instance, if this Mercedes emblem was a JPEG, you see that square would be white. So if you put it in the box, it'd be a white square with a Mercedes emblem on top of this box, if that makes sense. But if it's a PNG image, which means when you import it, it looks like that. Very, very cool. So I always look for PNGs, like on logos and things like that. They're pretty easy to find. Just about every company, just about every website has PNGs for their logos as well as the JPEGs. You just have to search for it. So that's what I do. I'm actually going to search for Mercedes logo.png. Now we've got logos. So whether I want the text in there or not is up to me, and I can look at different sizes. I'm going to try to find something as large as possible, like 2500 by 2500 pixels or 1000 by 1000 at least. When you start getting down on the smaller ones like this 400, it's not a very big image, so it's not going to take up much room in the container, and I like it full. This one looks pretty good, but notice when I hover over it, see the square? Okay, now it is a PNG, so the square is not going to show up, but you can see the orientation of the image. Whereas this one is cropped, but it's too small. Notice over here I downloaded a few of these, okay? And this one that I downloaded is square, and that's good, the orientation matches. But notice all the white around it. Even though it's a PNG, it's going to come in transparent, but when we drag it in, look what happens. You see, it looks small because the rest of this is actually in there, filling the rest of the box. So I don't really like that one. Notice this one, it's also a PNG, but it's horizontal. So again, doesn't look very big at all because this whole horizontal image, the whole image has to be in there. Let's get rid of that. And then this one, I took one of these and I put it in a photo editor and I simply cropped it. So now when I bring this in, because it's cropped square, it's again going to fill the entire frame, but this time it'll fill it with the image. And I like that. And you can see what happens when I move my cursor in and out of the container field. It's got a hover function, but when you click outside of it, it stays that way. And here's another thing. If you have an image that is rotated in the wrong direction, when you bring it into FileMaster, it will come in exactly as it shows in the Finder or in the Explorer window. So what you want to do is go ahead and rotate it. Save it, and then bring it in. So I hope this has been helpful. I love putting lots of images in FileMaster because I use it, well, literally every hour of every day. And why not make it look cool? Enjoy and happy filing.